Welcome back to the channel. This week I've spent my entire time with this 2025 Acura RDX Platinum Elite A-Spec. Now Acura have made a few changes to the RDX for 2025. Some changes they got absolutely right, and maybe they actually missed a couple of changes as well. But I'm going to take you through the exterior, the interior, and of course a POV drive. Let's get right into it. First up, we have the front end. Don't mind whatever's going on in the background there, that's crazy. The front end for the 2025 RDX has been changed. You can see we now have this mesh, but I also do have a 360-degree camera setup as well as that front-facing camera right there. The daytime running LEDs look very, very nice, even here in the winter where the car gets a little bit dirty. We have actual vents there on the side as well. Overall, the front end looks really, really cool and actually quite aggressive and sporty, which I'm typically a fan of. So let's take a look under the hood for the RDX. We have a turbocharged inline 4-cylinder engine giving us 272 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. We also get a 10-speed automatic transmission. The as-tested price is $65,855 Canadian, which is, a little bit on the expensive side. But this is a relatively quick and relatively spacious and luxurious SUV, so it might not be that bad. All right, next up we're going to check out the side profile, and you can see it gets super dirty, but I will include some B-roll where it's not too bad, but the roads here in Quebec are disgusting. But still, the RDX side profile looks pretty sporty as well. I actually am a huge fan of just the overall design of the car. It's kind of more sporty than I was expecting, even in just like the A-Spec trim. There's no Type S available for the RDX this year, but that's completely fine. You got the A-Spec badge to get a little bit closer. We've got really nice turn signal LEDs right here as well. We've got one-touch lock and unlocking doors, which are very nice. It's got the intelligent handle where if I put my hand in, it will unlock. And yeah, I do enjoy the side profile. It doesn't look that small at all. And on the inside, it reflects pretty well. If we quickly move on to the back here, because it's freezing out and I want to get on the road, you can see we have kind of the classic Acura taillights, I want to say, and I also really appreciate the fact that they're not hiding their exhaust, and we also have somewhat of a diffuser. Also got the SH all-wheel drive badge right there, a decent rear windshield with the rear wiper. I wish it was tucked up underneath the wing like I always do, but we do have parking sensors back here as well, and of course the rear facing camera, which is standard across the board. But last but not least, let's actually open the trunk and see how much space you get there. Of course, the automatic tailgate in this price point, that is very nice to see. We got the RDX mats in here as well, and a really good amount of trunk space. You could fold the seats down, have even more room, but I really do enjoy the trunk space that we have here. There is a little bit of storage underneath the floor here. Lift this up, you can see there's a little bit of cargo space right there. I think if you buy this thing and you have some family needs, it's going to be really easy, to throw a bunch of stuff in the trunk, no problem. But that's going to do it for my tour for the RDX Platinum Elite A-Spec. Let's hop on the inside because there's a bunch of stuff to go on in there, and then of course right after that, the POV drive. All right, so first up, as usual, is the rear for the Acura RDX. You can see we open the door. We are greeted with a really nice red leather interior with the ELS Studio 3D speaker, and we've also got some nice soft touch material here. Very nice. But as you can see, it's snowing like crazy, and I don't want to fill up my car with snow, so let's get in. Okay, so once we're sitting inside, I've got just enough room here for my feet and my legs, just enough. And thankfully, the back of the seat here is actually a little bit carved out, so I actually have some room there. I've got my own vents back here as well as 2 heated seats for the passengers in the back, which is very cool. I've also got USB-C ports there in case you want to charge something. It's also very nice. I really do enjoy these seats. Very cool. You got this guy that slides down, no problem. Oh, my car seat's actually in the way, but it does slide down. Very good. You can see that the baby seat actually fits quite well as well. No problems there. The anchors are very easy to access as well, and we've got enough room where the passenger on the right side doesn't have, any kind of foot things to do. They have enough foot room, and the baby seat has enough room to spare as well. So that's very good news. And the visibility out the rear window is good. Good little dual kind of sunroof going on there as well. I do enjoy that. And yeah, overall a decent place to spend time. I've got just enough room back here for pretty much everything that I would need, another human plus a child. So we're pretty happy. But let's check out the business end in the front. All right, next up we're going to check out the front, the business end. You can see it's the same kind of setup here in the front where we do have 2 memory seat settings, which are very nice. And also the trunk button is going to be right here. We'll quickly take a look at the seats from the outside. Very nice. You can see the snow just blowing in here. But really, really nice seats. But yeah, we're just going to step in here because it's extremely snowy outside and it's blowing right into the vehicle. So let's sit down. Once you're in though, you're greeted by this very nice Acura steering wheel. I am such a fan of the way that Acura does their steering wheels. I like kind of this material here on the sides where you usually are going to hold it, and I like it at the top too. The steering wheel feels heated all the way around, which today is extremely important because it's absolutely freezing, and as you can see, disgusting outside. But we also have physical buttons here. We've got the lane centering, the automatic cruise control stuff on the right hand side. Left hand side is going to be all of our gauge cluster controls and different things like that. And then we have like a pretty big control center here all the way on the left hand side for our heads up display, parking sensors. We also have a button to turn on the defroster. It's kind of like a quicker, kind of like electronic defroster, kind of like the one you have in the rear. This one seems to have it on the windshield, which is very cool. And you also have your traction control button off, which we will not be doing in this disgusting weather. Then we move on to our digital gauge cluster, which is really dated, I want to say, because look, I mean, all of Acura's other products have become, you know, more or less digital, but this is like a mix of digital and analog. So it's I don't hate it, to be honest, because I'm not somebody who like wants some things to go completely digital. I do kind of like the dual stuff, but again, if the rest of your lineup is going to have it, I feel like the RDX, being probably one of its top sellers, should be updated to the digital stuff as well. You know, let's just get the same treatment all the way around, and then that way we're all good. But overall, you can see different things like oil pressure and different stuff like that, tire pressure, SH all-wheel drive, where it's going, safety support. You can do these sport gauges, or you can do push to change. You can do always on, and it will kind of show you the stuff like that, or you can just do show in sport mode or always off. You know, it's kind of like the little customization that you can do, but really that's about it. And honestly, I don't mind, but I know that, you know, if the whole lineup's going that way, you probably should as well. Next, we move over to our digital infotainment display. It's decently placed, obviously not a touch screen, which I do not enjoy because, again, we're faced with this guy. The good old trackpad, which is never a pleasure to use. We kind of got the dual screen setup. Look, I like the system overall, and I'm not saying that the trackpad is horrible. I'm just saying that it's not fun to use. It doesn't make sense. Just put a touchscreen. Other Acura products, the TLX has a touchscreen now. I'm pretty sure the MDX now also has a touchscreen, so it's obviously going around. I just don't know why in 2025 it still hasn't made its way to the RDX, but hopefully eventually it will, because that way nobody has to deal with this touchpad anymore. But you do have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, built-in navigation. You've got like ambient lighting settings, different things like that, and you can control your vehicle settings from here. It's pretty standard stuff. It's nothing too complicated. And then we have a bunch of buttons for HVAC control, which I still do really enjoy. Heated and ventilated seats up front, of course, which is very, very nice. And everything's pretty easy to understand. Then we have our drive mode selector. It's in the same place it always is for Acura, but we have a couple of different drive modes. We have normal, we have the sport, we have comfort, and we have snow mode. There's no individual mode for this vehicle, which is completely fine. But lately I've been driving in snow mode because, as you can see, it's snowing. Gear selector is completely fine. I don't have any problems with this. It's just buttons. It's you know, in line with everything else that's going on now, so absolutely no worries there. I do like the red trim all the way around this. There's a little bit of piano black here, which, you know, obviously I'm not a fan of. It's hard to keep clean, but there's a minimal. There's more leather than piano black, I'd say, so I like that. 2 cup holders. I like where the wireless charger is this time. Very nice. And then we've got a little bit of storage inside there. And then the passenger gets a nice look at the red and the kind of silver, and then the soft touch material right there. Same thing on the door. Very, very nice. I do like overall the look of the interior. I'm a huge fan of the red. The seats are comfortable enough. The bolstering you can adjust. You can also adjust the support for the legs as well. I don't have any trouble getting comfortable in these seats. They're very comfortable. They aid with the ride quality a lot, and that's typical from Acura. I was expecting nothing less, and we've got it here, so very good. But let's see how this thing drives. Maybe not necessarily in all this snow, but let me strap that GoPro on my forehead and let's go for a drive. Alrighty, so let's get to it. Let's get to the road stuff with the RDX. It's been a really nice week. As you can see, I've been driving in snow basically the entire week. It's a little drier today, but I'm sure we still will have some ice patches and stuff like that. And we can also talk about what this thing is actually like to live with and deal with in some winter conditions, because that's definitely all I've experienced this week. It's just snow and cold and ice and everything in between. Anything you think of when it comes to winter, I've basically experienced it. And I'm happy to say that the RDX has performed quite well. There's been times where I've slid slightly without really wanting to, but that probably is more due to speed more than anything else, not really, the vehicle's lack of ability to hold onto the road or anything like that. Now, obviously, I have all-wheel drive, the SH all-wheel drive, which stands for Super Handling All-Wheel Drive, and I've also got winter tires on, and that combination makes the RDX a very safe vehicle to operate here in the winter. But super handling is definitely the way that I would describe most of Acura's products, actually, and the RDX doesn't disappoint. One thing that I think Acura does really, really well and are kind of like almost, leading in almost all the time is handling. They are very, very good at handling in almost every level of Acura that I've driven, whether it's A-Spec or Type S or just basic. The handling has always been something that has very much stood out to me and always impressed me. No matter, if we're talking TLX, Integra, MDX, it's always been on point to me, and I think that's really cool. I think the only exception might be the ZDX, but that's more because the vehicle is more a GM product, not so much an Acura product, like a straight up Acura product. But we're not going to take the highway, we're going to take some back roads. But if I was to get on the highway, this thing has absolutely no problem getting up to speed. And if the roads are dry where we're going, we'll show you what I mean. It's got like 275 horsepower is what we talked about in the beginning, and that is not a slouch to me. I don't find that slow at all. I find that perfectly adequate for a vehicle of this size and a vehicle in this class. And trust me, the turbocharged 4-cylinder doesn't disappoint. I mean, it honestly doesn't. It's quite quick. This is the top line, so obviously you want to feel maybe a little bit more sporty. Obviously the red seats, the red interior make things feel a lot more sporty as well. And as I'm bumping around in bumps here, the ride quality is actually very decent. There's no custom drive mode or anything, so it's just kind of one drive mode or one feeling ride quality wise, and that's it. It doesn't change. And that's fine because the seats are comfortable enough and the ride quality really doesn't bother me. I don't feel like I'm bumping and bouncing around, and it's also not too smooth either. It's right in that happy middle for a vehicle in its class, so I'm happy there as well. All right, let's do a little bit of performance stuff. There's a bit of snow on the road, but we can still kind of zoom it. Very good acceleration. I don't really want to go that hard because there is some ice and some crap on the road that we don't want to take a chance with, but still, that's very solid acceleration wise. And then again, in these sharp, like these wide turns, these sharper turns, the handling is so good. It just gives me so much confidence, and I love that fact, especially here in the winter. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all. That is very, very nice. I think, anybody that, wants a little bit of sportiness would probably be happy with this. It is an inline four, it's turbocharged. Of course, there's a little bit of turbo lag there, but still, it's very solid for what it is and for its price as well. It might not be that bad for the money. I was honestly not expecting very much at all from it. And then you can even go further, right? And you can put your vehicle into S mode, and then that kind of overdrives your transmission as well. So that's like super sport mode. Basically, the engine in sport mode, and then the transmission is also in sport mode. So here we can put a little bit of brake on, and then give it a little bit of gas, a little bit of turbo delay. But yeah, obviously with the transmission in full S mode, things get, a lot more sporty. The transmission is a lot more reactive, which is very nice. It downshifts is quite hard, kind of keeps the revs and the RPMs quite high, which is cool. You're still getting that sporty experience without actually needing a Type S model at all. Honestly, I think this is perfect for anybody looking for space and sportiness and something not too crazy, because Acura can get kind of crazy expensive. And I mean, 65 grand is no drop in the bucket, that is for sure, but still, you get a nice little kick. All right, as we come out of this corner here, oh yeah, it's like second gear almost. It's really like a good pull from it once the turbo kicks in. Really nice. And even on not so great roads, I can feel, you know, the vehicle try to figure out where it could get the most traction from. Very, very nice from Acura. Look, Acura performance has really never disappointed me. Honestly, like it's been so solid. They've really upped the game. I mean, you know, they are the true luxury brand of Honda, and it shows really well here. Now, in terms of fuel economy, we're looking at 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers, and I've done, say, about 300-400 kilometers by this point of filming. And yeah, so that's, you know, obviously not great, but again, I do a lot of idling. The car is running, but I'm not actually driving and stuff like that. I'm pushing it quite a bit in sport mode. Especially when the roads are a little drier, you know, and I'm also in snow mode, but that's cutting stuff down. I'm really never in its comfort mode at all. I'm either in normal mode or sport mode or snow mode. Those are the three modes that I would frequent most often. But your fuel economy in this full-time driving it normally would probably be a lot better than the one I'm seeing. I also like this heads-up display. I can press an app button on my steering wheel and kind of choose what apps I can pull up, like just kind of in my face. It is nicer than having to use the touchscreen to see stuff. If you want a quick bit of information, you don't have to you don't have to touch this trackpad at all. You can just go through the heads-up display, and for some things like CarPlay, navigation, it'll kind of display right up there, which is quite nice, quite a little luxury feature that I enjoy. But my one thing that's like my favorite, and this is my favorite thing with most Acura stuff, is the steering wheel. I love the way they designed it. I love like the texture on the sides. Although the paddle shifters are plastic, I appreciate that we have them still. Just kind of adds to, you know, the sportiness of this SUV at the top end of Acura's trims, and I'm super here for it. I really like it. So overall, the Acura RDX A-Spec, or Platinum Elite A-Spec, it's a huge name for some reason. They could have just called it the A-Spec Elite. That would have been fine with me. But anyways, the top trim of the RDX here in Canada is an excellent winter driver that, you know, they've kind of made some changes, but missed in the form of, you know, maybe not making the digital gauge cluster or the gauge cluster fully digital, and also still leaving us with this horrible trackpad that, you know, I don't like. Some of you are going to tell me that you like it and you have no problem with it, which is completely fine. But I mean, look at Acura's, you know, the TLX no longer has it and the MDX no longer has it. There's a reason for that. It's because the majority of people hate it. So that's it. And that's completely fine. I just feel like, okay, sure, do the exterior, that's fine, but also in the interior, but why not just do it all? We're 2025, tech it all out. That's where the market is anyways, and boom. I don't really think it would raise the cost that much, but I do really love the design. I love the red. I could live with the digital gauge cluster. The trackpad might be a deal breaker for me. I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but all our HVAC controls are physical buttons. It's not tied to an infotainment, so I like that. I like that we're still staying there. Just remove the trackpad, give me a full genuine touchscreen, or even a knob. Honestly, I take a knob, and you know, this vehicle is, you know, 100%. I think you should buy it if you can afford it, obviously, because again, $65K is a lot of money. With that being said, let me know what you think of the Acura RDX. Do you own one? Do you own an older generation? How do you feel that it's aged? And would you spec it out the same way? Would you get the red interior, the gray exterior? How do you like it in the winter if you drive in it? And also, tell me how reliable it is, because that's the one thing I can't speak to, unfortunately. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a like. The likes really help. The engagement on the videos really seem to help. So even if you dislike it, go ahead and give me a dislike. That's completely fine. The engagement will help me nonetheless. So make sure that you also comment if you have something cool to say, or any input that I could do, or that, you know, you think anybody could benefit with. I'm very happy to hear from all of you. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next week. See you in the next car. Take care.